back to Fantasy Friday. I know you guys missed us. We missed last week, so I apologize about that.
We were a little under the weather.
We were in the middle of an edging session.
You see, somebody was busy sucking off a bunch of guys at work and got his whole household, as well as myself, sick.
Oh, I know who that is. That's me.
Yeah, that's you. That's you.
It's like,
You fucking.
well, of course I know him, because he's me. Little Obi-Wan reference for you.
Yes.
But anyway, welcome back to Fantasy Friday. We are we're pretty much at the last two episodes of The Two Towers.
Yeah. I mean, we've reached this point far quicker than I anticipated.
Dude, we're going to get to the Return of the King. We're going to finish Return of the King and we'll be like, what the fuck?
I know.
We thought that would take like a whole year.
So, I mean, that just means that we start The Hobbit.
No.
I want to.
Oh, God. Anyway.
Okay, if we don't do The Hobbit, what other fantasy series will we do?
I don't know. I guess we'll do the fucking Hobbit.
That's what I thought. Bitch.
Anyway, I guess it's better than nothing. It's better than Rings of Power.
That we're never touching that.
Yes. But welcome back to Virtual Tavern Fantasy Friday. My name is Adam Edgar, joined by
Hunter Chambliss. We are very glad to see you guys again. Like we said, you know, we had to unfortunately miss both Fantasy Friday and Sci-Fi Sunday. We didn't really have time to record, and with our work schedule and stuff, it just didn't work out. So
yes,
unfortunately, we had to miss it, but happy to be back this week.
Yes. So last we left off, the wall of Helm's Deep got Gonzo.
Whoa! They're blowing the wall.
Where's that from?
It was making me think of Starship Troopers. War! We're going to war.
We're going to war. The wall of Helm's Deep blew up. You know, Saruman, blew up the wall with the explosive TNT, like from Minecraft. Like,
yeah, he sent in the fucking the beefed up creeper to go fucking blow up the wall.
It's just a creeper instead of the Uruk-hai holding the torch. It's just a creeper. Oh my God. But anyway, before we get into that, we have something called our house cleaning shit. It's going to be very quick this week because we don't have much to cover. But anyway, we like to do that every time. So we like to do our plugs. It takes like 5 minutes. Bear with us. Bite down. It's not going to be that bad.
Red October standing by. Bite down, honey. We're going in dry.
We're going in dry. Anyway, we have a YouTube. Obviously, that we do a video podcast now. So you're either watching this on YouTube or Spotify. But I would prefer you to subscribe to our YouTube. That way you'll not only get funny Lord of the Rings related memes from me occasionally, but also you'll get updated if we miss a Fantasy Friday or a Sci-Fi Sunday, because I'm not going to make a Twitter or an X or a Facebook page for this podcast, so if you want updates on the podcast, that's going to be the place to get it.
Yeah, that's going to be the easiest place to get it. We do have a TikTok as well. That's virtual_tavern_podcast. And lately we haven't really been, I really haven't been putting anything up, just because been kind of busy. I have a lot of different projects going on right now, and truthfully, it's not doing all that well. It's like the algorithm just kind of decided to kill it.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to figure out a way to be able to get us back on the spectrum with that. So
well, I'll probably make some YouTube shorts this weekend too, and we'll.
Yeah, see if I can just do like a magnum with it or something.
Yeah.
But we'll try to find some way to be able to get that up. But if we can kind of start getting traction back on there, I'll try to post updates whenever we miss episodes. But the for sure way for you guys to get info about like different events or things or whatever is to subscribe to our YouTube.
Yes, and also there's funny YouTube shorts on there too.
Yeah,
little snippets from the podcast. So it's just a good place to stay in touch with the community.
Take on me.
But also, if you're listening on YouTube, we have Spotify, whatever one you prefer. If you have Spotify Premium, you don't get ads on there, or if you have YouTube Red, or whatever the fuck it is, whatever one, it's the same thing, right? Whatever you prefer.
Yeah, if you just want to be able to listen to the podcast, we're on pretty much most streaming sites, like iHeartRadio, Apple Music.
X
you
videos.
Look for us.
We're on Pornhub Plus.
Yeah, my OnlyFans is up there too.
What if Pornhub has like a podcast section?
I really wouldn't be surprised. Like, I know it's possible to find like YouTube videos of Markiplier that people just fucking screen captured and put on there.
But anyway, yeah,
I
that's
still
our,
jerked off to it.
Jesus. That's our plugs and everything. We also have an email. So we would actually really like for you to send us an email to engage with us. I see you guys watching our content and it's great. It's awesome. Our channel has been taking off a little bit. It's slow growth and I'm proud of that. We're a small channel, but as I see growth,
It's average.
yeah, instead of 100 people listening a week, it's 200 and now it's 300 and now it's like 350. It's awesome to see this podcast grow little by little by little. And I see you guys watching the podcast and listening out there. So we would really love to hear from you guys. I see the comment section. Sometimes you guys comment on the videos and all. That's awesome. But if you email us, that's a way for us to interact with you. If you have a question or something you want to share about cyberpunk or fantasy, Lord of the Rings, it's just a way for us to engage, have a topic or conversation. It makes it interesting.
Yeah. We'd really love to hear from you guys. Like Adam was saying, it's great when you guys comment on the videos and stuff, but we're not always going to see those. At least, like, we're not going to see them in time for recording and things like that. However, if you email us, we're going to get those immediately, and we'll actually be able to talk about that on the podcast. So we'd love to hear from you guys. It'd be great to be able to engage with some of you, especially those of you who are new to the channel,
Yes.
Or new to the podcast. Like, we'd love to be able to get your guys' thoughts and opinions on things and just be able to have a conversation. It'd be really cool. We want to help, we want to make this feel more like a community than it already is. Like, we're wanting to try to help things grow and become a little bit more fluent.
Yes. So our email is contactvirtualtavern@gmail.com. It's linked in almost all of our episodes and everything. So just go to the description of whatever you're listening. It's right there. So let us know how you're doing. If you have a question about, us or whatever we're covering, we'd love to engage with you. Other than that, we don't have any listeners from any new country, so nothing to share on that front.
Thank God I don't have to fail at geography today. Don't get me wrong. I would love for there to be more people listening to us from different places. But it's so embarrassing because I suck at geography.
Yes.
So hard.
So the last thing that we do to cap off our house cleaning shit is called a talking point recap. Now, for those of you, oh my God, excuse me. It was like,
I know you started going into fucking slow motion.
No. So for those of you that don't know, like Jim Carrey's Grinch, it's gonna blow. Anyway, for those of you that don't know, or new listeners or watchers of the podcast, our talking point recap is an opportunity for us to reflect on the previous segment of whatever we're covering. So obviously we're covering Fantasy Friday, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Last segment was pretty much a battle heavy segment, right? The beginning battle of the Helm's Deep and everything.
Yeah.
So Hunter, my talking point recap for you is, what in your opinion was the most epic or just your favorite scene in the last segment?
See, this is interesting. Mine's a very similar subject. I would say the most epic would probably be just when there's the first arrow that gets fired, right? The bowmaster.
Bowmaster.
He accidentally lets that one arrow fly, and then they just start fucking charging it, and then you just see thousands of arrows start fucking flying. Like, just the vast picture of how big this battle actually is when it zooms out and you can just see fucking arrows flying, bodies charging.
The scope of it.
Yeah, exactly. You can see the full scope of the battle. That's probably my favorite point.
Just that initial first a minute and a half,
Yeah, because it's just like, holy shit, this is happening. This is happening.
Yeah, it's like, go, go, go.
So mine for you, I'm going to change it up a little bit so that way we can have some variety here.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say was the most surprising thing that we saw?
Ooh, from last segment?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Surprising.
Something the fans might not have expected.
Surprise. That's actually a good question. I gotta think about that. Fuck you. You give me talking point recaps where I'm like, I have to think about it for a second because I want to give a good response. I don't want to just choose the first thing that comes to mind and half-ass it.
Yeah, I try to come up with good ones. That way it's, because I felt like there for a while I was doing.
Okay, I got it. The most surprising moment is when Theoden and when Aragorn is saying, they do not come for Rohan's crops or villages. They come to destroy us people, down to the last child. And King Theoden does a 180 and he's done with Aragorn's shit. He grabs and pulls him close like, look at my men. Their courage hangs by a thread. Like, if this is to be our end, then I shall have make it such an end as to be worthy of remembrance.
Yeah.
Like, you don't expect Theoden to level with Aragorn in that kind of sense.
Yeah, no, he full on just grabs him, pulls him in, and is like, dude, shut the fuck up. These people are depending on me right now. You have no idea what the fuck is what type of balance is
Yeah.
being held right now. Like, shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah, he's basically like, dude, I know we're fucked.
Yeah.
But you're bringing morale down the more you talk about it. Like, I know we're all gonna die. Let's at least make it worth it.
Yeah, stop being the fucking emo shooter shooter kid. The school shooter. Like, just keep your fucking mouth shut, cut
Jesus
your wrists,
Christ.
and just go in the corner. For me, like, I would say probably the most surprising thing that happened was that the elves decided to join in. Like, that I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't really a whole lot of talk about them deciding to join. Like, they just kind of fucking showed up.
There was really no foreshadowing to that happening besides the little Skype call that Galadriel and Elrond have is like, do we leave Middle Earth to its fate? Do we let them stand alone?
Yeah.
So it was kind of jarring.
Yeah, like, you don't really expect them to show up. They just happen to fucking be there.
As much as I like the elves being there, it kind of is jarring, like you say. It's kind of like weird and random.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. You know, it's cool seeing the elves at Helm's Deep and everything. It's not canon in the books, but, you know, fuck it. It makes for a cool spectacle.
Yeah, because it was like you were saying last episode where they added the elves to try to help, like, make it seem a little bit more feasible that they were going to be able to actually stave off this attack.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, with, like, the 300 men they had, like, it would have just been fucking bowled over.
Yeah. They'd shoot, like, maybe 100 arrows, and then they'd be fucked.
Yeah.
You know?
Plus, we got to see their fucking badass armor, which I liked a lot.
Oh my god, Haldir's armor. Fucking
chef's kiss, dude.
Yeah.
That shit makes my dick hard.
Well, anyway, that covers our house cleaning shit. See, 12 minutes. We like to keep it between like 10 minutes and 15 minutes at most if we have good shit to talk about. It's the intro to our episode, so we like to keep it within that time frame. It wasn't that bad. See, we used lube. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, see, like, gently caressed it, gave a little
Gently
bit,
spit on it, like
gave a little bit of kiss when we were done. Like, it's fine.
we bought you dinner afterwards, you know.
But you buy him dinner afterwards. Fuck, I gotta get him drunk first.
Oh, God. Anyway, if you haven't already known, our podcast is explicit, so I should like start getting in the habit of like having a disclaimer in the beginning of these episodes, like warning this podcast is explicit, because it might take newer listeners off guard. Like, you
I
know,
know, like, what the fuck? They're talking about bussies? Did
Yeah.
I just hear bussy?
I just wanted to watch a family-friendly Lord of the Rings podcast, and they're talking about bussies.
Sorry, family friendly here. Family friendly.
All right. Anyway, let's get into what you came here for before we can keep going on tangents. So last we left off, the wall of Helm's Deep exploded, right?
Yeah.
And it's a huge ass spectacle, man. There's like 2-ton pieces of boulder that are going in the sky, like you said, killing probably more Uruk-hai than it did the defenders of Helm's Deep.
Yeah, because I mean, based on the explosion, it looked like, because of like how it got kind of packed in there, it sent most of it flying backwards. So it was going towards the Uruk-hai as opposed to going like towards the men, which kind of makes sense because, you know, the where it was at was more concave, so it's gonna direct that blast outwards.
Yeah.
But just the sheer size of these pieces that are flying off are fucking insane. Like,
yeah. And it opens up a big section of the wall where, like, you know, water starts rushing in and everything, because it was the drain part of the, you know.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that it would start flooding and everything. And then we go straight to a scene with the Uruk-hai that are actually... So the Uruk-hai are attacking from multiple points at the fortress. It's not just the main wall.
Yeah.
They're attacking the main keep as well. You know, it's defended by this bridge. And they're going in like this Roman phalanx formation or shield wall formation, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
They have shields on top and in front. And it shows just how sophisticated these Uruk-hai are with Saruman. Like they might seem like dumb brutes on the surface, but these fuckers have good tactics.
Yeah, they're actually fairly smart. The only downside to the way that they're defending themselves is that they have it to where they're open on their sides. So like you're able to shoot them in the ribs, but even then, like there's so many of them, they're still going to be able to push all the way to the front.
Yeah, so they eventually do push through and they start battering the main gate with the battering ram.
Yep.
And, you know, Aragorn, we go to a scene with him. He's all disoriented and everything. And Gimli comes to his aid. And this shows how badass Gimli is. He jumps. He's like, Aragorn, ha! Fucking tackles like 3 Uruk-hai.
Yeah.
Starts slashing. He's like, ha! Rah! And then he gets thrown in the water. Aragorn sees an opportunity to give Gimli an opportunity to escape. there's at least like a second battalion of elves that were behind the wall.
Yeah.
I want to say probably like 400 or 500 elves are back here. And this is like the remaining force of the elves. Aragorn gives them a volley to like shoot the fucking, opening.
Yep.
Which I don't understand. Like, they're going to come in through this bottleneck, just mag dump your remaining arrows in that choke point.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I would do too, is just try to get as many fucking arrows flying into that bitch as you could.
Yeah.
Because one, the bodies are going to start to make it harder for them to come through. So that's going to slow them down. And then you can get closer with like pikes or something and just start fucking shanking motherfuckers.
Yeah. So Aragorn gives them a volley and then says, all right, charge. And Hunter, does this not look like Aragorn swipes away one of the spears into one of his fellow elvish soldiers?
Yep. Right fucking there.
It looks like he killed one of his men on like accident.
Yeah. He's like, nope, I'm not gonna fucking die. Oh shit.
He
Jimmy.
sent it flying into the guy to his left.
Yeah.
It looks like he like sideswiped the pike as they're charging, and it just went straight into the guy to his left.
Yeah, he's like, oh fuck, I killed Jimmy. I got him stabbed in the chest.
Jimmy, no. But the elves and the Uruk-hai, they charge, and it's this big battle, big spectacle. And we go back to what was it? Treebeard, Merry, and Pippin.
Yeah.
It's nighttime now, and at this point, Merry is getting pissed off. He's like, "What are you guys doing, man?
Yeah.
We've spent the whole day just fucking going back and forth talking." And Treebeard's like, this isn't part of our war, but you're part of this world, aren't you?
Yeah.
You must help, please. And I understand why the Ents don't want to like involve themselves in the conflicts of the outer world, but it's kind of like the hobbits of the Shire, right? Like, you don't have a choice, dude.
Yeah. Like, if you don't help, the whole world is going to be fucking taken over by darkness. And whether you like it or not, they're going to be fucking coming for you too.
Yeah.
If they manage to get past men and Sauron gets reunited with the ring, everyone's fucked.
Yeah, Frodo saw a vision of this at Galadriel's little mirror, that shows things that were, things that are, and some things that have yet to come to pass.
Yeah.
Do you remember that in the Fellowship of the Ring?
Yep.
It showed the Shire getting fucking burned down, the hobbits getting killed or enslaved.
Yeah.
Like, if Sauron wins, it's not going to stay isolated to Mordor and the surrounding regions. It's going to take over all of Middle-earth.
Yeah, because that's kind of his goal. Like, he wants to rule everything.
Yeah. Everything?
Everything.
Everything.
What did it cost?
Uh,
But yeah, like, whether the Ents want to or not, they're needed to help in this fight.
yeah.
So like,
Sauron will probably burn down Fangorn Forest.
oh, absolutely. Like, they're gonna burn it down and use it for being able to craft more weapons for the Uruk-hai, because now they have that ability.
Yeah.
So even though, we've talked about that, the Uruk-hai, they're more loyal to Saruman than they are Sauron. Once Saruman's gone, like, if Sauron was to come about, like, they would bow to him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it might take a few hundred of them getting fucking squashed like bugs,
Yeah.
but they'd eventually be like, oh fuck, this is the man.
Yeah. So after Merry and Pippin talk, like, Merry makes a good point. Like, all that is good and green in this world will be gone. You don't get it. There won't be a Shire Pippin. And I love that. This is good character development for Merry and Pippin.
Yeah.
Like, so like the first movie, they were relegated to just being the comic relief. In this movie, they get a little bit of development, which I like.
Yeah, we get to see them kind of be able to grasp the true severity of this situation.
Yeah.
And especially, I believe it's with Merry. Like, Merry's kind of the one that really starts to grasp that first. He's like, dude, we can't just fucking stand aside. We have to do something.
Yeah. So after this scene, it goes back to the battle. The elves are losing. They're getting fucking mollywopped down there in the big opening with the wall. Gamling, who's the Rohan like chief in command, the second command, he says, Aragorn, fall back to the keep. Get your men out of there. And, the elves are dying one by one. Legolas, one of the few times you get to see him with his dual daggers, he pulls them out. Ching, ching, chung, 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 chung. Gimli's still fucking decimating Uruk-hai left and right. They're badasses, but they're losing, right? They're losing ground.
Yeah.
And they have to like fall back up this staircase. Haldir, who was still on the wall, with the remaining elves that survived, they're trying to pull all their men back and everything. But Haldir gets fucking surprised by an Uruk-hai right behind him.
Yeah.
He gets like, I think like stabbed in the gut or something. Like either on the
right
wrist or the gut.
Yep, it stabs him. It looks like just below his ribcage.
Yeah, and he's looking around. This is a dark moment. Like this has some really serious undertones. He's delirious. He's walking around, and then the Uruk-hai just fucking slices his head. And obviously, it's PG-13. It's not going to show his head like fucking split open.
But that's what would have happened. Like he did a fucking a haymaker of a swing, and it would have just straight up split his head like a fucking cantaloupe.
Yeah. So Haldir, he's obviously got a few seconds to live. He's disoriented. He's looking around, and it's this very sad, somber music. And he's seeing the dead bodies of all of his elves. And I can only imagine what's going through his head, right? Like, elves are supposed to live forever. They're supposed to be these immortal, beautiful, fair beings. And he's looking around, seeing the bodies of all of his comrades, and that I wonder what he must be feeling like. Dude, did we really just come here to die?
Yeah.
Like,
did we really just decide to sacrifice ourselves for a group that's already losing about like a very important battle right now?
Yeah.
So did we come here for nothing? That's probably like kind of what's running through his mind.
Yeah, I'm just hypothesizing what he's possibly thinking,
Yeah.
Aragorn rushes to his aid, but he doesn't get there in time. He passes away. And Aragorn does a cool little scene where he's like, fuck this, I'm gonna go on a ladder. He's like, fuck you, falls down on some Uruk-hai.
You motherfuckers!
Yeah, trying to get revenge. He fucking gives a haymaker to an Uruk-hai. He's like, and then we go back to the gate, and the Uruk-hai finally break through, and fucking the battering ram for some reason like impales one of the Rohan soldiers. He's like, oh.
Well, when they first started ramming it, if you looked, like it kind of looks like it had 4 very sharp triangle like angled points on it.
Oh, so it probably got him good.
Yeah, so he probably got stabbed by like
it impales him, drags him back, and then he bonks his head on the gate. He's like,
Yo.
kill me. But Theoden, he says, to the gate, draw your swords. And it goes to like the last remaining elves in that back section of the fort, which there's no gate there. They're going to get through, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why they didn't show that. Like, there's no gate in that tiny little staircase.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming like the last 20 or so elves over there held them off as long as they could, But which is that's the last time. We should mention that. That's the last time we see any elves in this battle.
Yeah.
Like they're all dead.
Yeah, they all got wiped out. I mean they fought a valiant fight, they took out a shit ton of fucking Uruk-hai with them, but like you said, that's the last time we see them. After that, it's just men. Yeah.
So Theoden tries his best to like fight off the Uruk-hai at the gate with, Gamling, right? And instantly fucking Theoden gets stabbed.
Yep.
Like he's fighting for maybe a minute, and then he instantly gets stabbed in his chest. And he's like, grabs the spear, fucking stabs the other Uruk-hai, pulls out the spear. He's like, all right, make way. And then fucking like 20 Rohan soldiers come. We can't hold them much longer. And that's when Aragorn shows up.
Yeah.
There's Uruk-hai in the fucking fortress.
Yeah.
Like, that gate is like nothing. It's being held by the men and nothing else.
Yeah, like it just keeps fucking blowing open. And little by little, they're trickling through. They're just getting more and more guys, and they're just like one at a time.
Yeah, pretty much. And Aragorn's like, how long do you need? As long as you can give me. And this is one of the best moments in the trilogy, man. They go outside like this little tiny secret door on the left or the right or whatever. And they're like, they look outside the corner. It's Aragorn and Gimli. Like, Gimli sees, all right, we can take him. And Aragorn says, it's a long way. And Gimli looks, oh, fuck, he's right.
Yeah.
Toss me. What? I cannot make the decision. You have to toss me.
One of my favorite all-time favorite moments from the Lord of the Rings series, dude. Like, it's so fucking iconic, and the way that he like really like panics when he's fucking saying it, just I cannot make that. You have to toss me.
Because Gimli is so prideful, right? But he's like acknowledging, like, Lord of the Rings isn't a comedy film. or comedy chili, but it has these awesome comedic moments, you know.
Yeah, it gives you that little bit of reprieve, even in like these big ass battles like this, where
It's dark and gloomy, you know.
yeah, and you know you're able to get a chuckle in before watching more people get fucking decimated.
Yeah, you're like splicing in between like horrible death and darkness and destruction, and like I cannot make that doesn't have to toss me. You know, it makes the battle feel, you know, dynamic and be like, oh, we can have a good time still.
Yeah,
People are dying left and right. It's genocide, but let's have a joke or two.
yeah, it's fine. So we see both of them get across the bridge, and they just start fucking clearing out that area really fucking fast.
Aragorn and Gimli are powerhouses.
Yeah, like it probably helped that when Gimli got tossed over there, he probably knocked off like 15 fucking dudes.
Yeah.
He was a dwarven fucking bowling ball.
Yeah, so they're fucking, you know, sideswiping left and right, killing Uruk-hai. And that gives the men, the Rohan soldiers, time to like get some, you know, wood to reinforce the door, hammer in some 2x4s, you know, patch up the gate to buy them more time, right?
Yeah.
And it's at this point that Uruk-hai start launching their ballistas with ropes attached to them and big ass hooks.
Yep.
And we know that the Uruk-hai are capable of using high-tech ladders, but now this takes it to a whole new fucking level, man.
Oh yeah.
This ladder, or actually I think it's 3 ladders, or no, it's 2 very large big ones.
Yeah.
These ladders are probably fucking 10 stories tall.
Yep.
And the ballistas fire these hooks that like act as like anchor points to pull the ladders up, because these are immense weight. Oh no, it is 3 ladders.
Yeah, they're fucking massive. What's kind of cool about them is at the very top, it has these 2 hinges that come down to lock on top of it. So
Yes.
unlike the wooden ones where you just fucking toss it, like you have to actually lift that bitch and push.
Yeah, and there's no way you would get enough leverage to push that bitch off. It'd be too heavy.
Yeah,
once
they're
that's
fucking
on there,
massive.
Yeah, once that's on there, it's on there to stay.
Yeah.
So these fucking ladders, they have hundreds of Uruk-hai on them per piece. And Legolas, of course, one of the first few times that Legolas gets a huge ass multi-kill, the 3rd ladder is going up, and Legolas sees a perfect opportunity to shoot like the anchor point.
Yep.
And all the Uruk-hai, they're like stuck in mid position. They're like, oh fuck.
No.
Oh fuck.
No. Wait.
The Punisher meme. Wait. That's what the Uruk-hai on the very top is thinking. Wait.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, like with how they have this set up, it reminds me of the first God of War game, how the enemies would like climb up the sides of walls and things, because they kind of look similar in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
But it immediately like kind of brings out, especially like when you see them starting to climb up the big ass fucking ropes and chains and shit.
Wait. That was such a good funny moment. You got me with that one. But yeah, I could see that analogy. And Aragorn and Gimli, their job is done, right? They've bought them enough time. And fucking Legolas, Legolas throws over a rope to try to pull them up.
Yeah.
And that's how they get out of there. The ballistas are continuing to launch, you know, and there's that comedic moment where for some reason one of the ballistas detaches and it just impales this guy and sends him flying like fucking 30 feet.
He gets hit with like this fucking 2 or 3 ton fucking like basically just a giant fucking arrowhead,
and he's just flying like
Mommy, wait,
Father help. Father help. But we go, and I wanted to point this out, Hunter. This scene right here shows, we've talked about how strong these Uruk-hai are. This is one of the few scenes where we get to see, like, these aren't just strong orcs. These are fucking superhuman, like, mutant beings.
Yeah.
With the strength of, like, 3 men. This fucking Rohan soldier, he goes to one of the Uruk-hai with, like, a hand axe, right? The Uruk-hai catches it and says, please, and spins him around and just gives him one good punch, and you can feel that whiplash from that punch. Like, I feel it broke his fucking neck.
Oh, almost definitely. Like, his fucking head practically went straight up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just dead.
Yeah,
I'm
just
dead now.
one solid punch from this Uruk-hai. It looks like it easily snapped that guy's neck.
Yeah.
But, and this kind of sucks, man. We just got the gate repaired, and for some reason, Theoden gives the order, pull everybody back, pull them back, and instantly the gates open.
Yeah.
Like, we just did all that for nothing, man.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, he kind of rushed it. after they got the gate patched up, and mainly maybe he was hoping that it was going to hold a little bit longer. But
yeah,
even though they got that, they got to where it was reinforced, they didn't seal the hole, so they could just fucking jump through the hole.
yeah. Well,
So-
no, they got the hole sealed.
Did they?
Yeah, but I think he was more getting overwhelmed by the ones that were storming the wall from the ladder.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Like, I think you saw that, like, oh, dude, they're just going to keep pouring in through that ladder. There's no way we can hold them.
Yeah, because like you were saying, those things are so big, they can't move them, so there's no way of being able to prevent them from coming up the ladders.
Yeah, even though it's a choke point, those things, like we said, have the strength of 3 fucking men.
Yeah, so like there's not really much you can do.
Yeah. What
If you could blow it up, that'd be a different fucking story.
Yeah. So we go from that scene, hundreds of Uruk-hai pour in, and the defenses are completely exposed, right? The only thing you can do is fall back to the keep. That's your last line of defense.
Yeah.
And you can see it does this big wide shot, which I love. You can see all the scattered Rohan soldiers everywhere. You're like, dude, those guys are fucked. They're getting cut off.
Yeah. Dude, what it kind of makes me think of is like Resident Evil, when they start doing like really wide shots of areas where you can just see people getting overwhelmed by zombies.
Oh, like the White House zooming out shot of the last film, one of the last films.
Like that, or when they're like just kind of zooming through the city and they're showing these giant fucking hordes coming in. Like that's kind of what it makes me picture, is just you see these guys just desperately fighting for their lives, but you know that they're going to get overwhelmed no matter what.
Yeah, I can see that. So some things to mention. We're not going to spend too much time, but Merry and Pippin, they're obviously still being taken home by Treebeard. But Merry has a little plan in his mind. He's like, I'm not going to convince Treebeard, but I might manipulate him a little bit to show him the carnage, so it feels like it's his own decision to join the war.
Yeah.
So I'm like, actually, Treebeard, south. Take us south. But that'll take us back to Isengard. And Merry has this really funny line. It's the further we out from danger, the farther we out from harm. It's the last thing he'll expect. And Treebeard's like, it doesn't make much sense to me. But then you are very small. Perhaps you're right. South it is then. And then they starts walking south. So his plan is to show Isengard, right? The destruction of Isengard.
Yeah.
And all the trees that have been cut down nearby. We see a small scene of Faramir, and we haven't seen much of Frodo and Sam in the past 2 segments, really.
No, I mean, they've really been focused more on Aragorn and the Rohan group, just trying to get ready for battle. Like, Frodo and Sam have kind of been put on the back burner for now.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, I'm pretty okay with, just because, obviously, like, Frodo's kind of the main focus point because he's the one with the ring.
Right.
So it's good to be able to give these other characters a decent spotlight.
Well, he gets so much screen time in The Return of the King, so I think it evened out.
Yeah.
But we get a small scene with them. Faramir obviously captured them, as prisoners, taking them to Osgiliath, which is like the front of the war between Gondor and Mordor.
Yeah.
It's the front line. And a small segment of that, Frodo's like, Frodo, you can't, they will not save Gondor, it will only bring destruction. And Faramir's just like, I don't give a fuck, dude. I want to make my daddy proud.
Yeah. I don't care, man.
And after that, we go to Treebeard, and that's when they go find the destruction of Isengard, right? That's where Isengard has been cutting down the nearby forest to fuel the war effort, right?
Yeah.
And Treebeard is like, oh, some of these trees were my friends. Timmy? Timmy?
No, I knew him from a sapling.
From a sapling? He had just started maturing.
He just got his 100th ring.
He just got his first nut. Literally. But many of these trees were my friends. And he's like, Saruman, a wizard should know better. And that's when he yells.
Yeah.
There is no curse in Elvish, Entish, or the tongues of men for this treachery. And Treebeard's yell has alerted and rallied the nearby Ents. And this is a really cool scene. But I also don't get it at the same time. The Ents are so fucking powerful. As Treebeard is marching with the Ents, he says, it's like the last march of the Ents. It is likely we go to our doom.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're gonna fucking destroy those orcs down there.
Well, I mean, he also has kind of been a glass half full kind of guy, or glass half empty.
Oh, pessimist kind of.
Very pessimistic. So, even though these are very big, powerful creatures, like he's just thinking, I'm gonna fucking die, so fuck it. Like let's go fuck these guys up because they killed my friends.
Maybe he thinks that the army is still there. Like if the Uruk-hai army was still there, you probably would lose a good portion of your Ent army.
Yeah,
but it's just orc workers there right now.
Sorry,
Did you just do a Halo Elite like?
I don't know why this popped into my head.
Jesus, Hunter. But we go to the Battle of Osgiliath, and outside of the deleted scenes from the extended edition, this is the first time we get to see the Gondorian soldier.
Yeah.
And me being a sucker for armies, and I played with a lot of army men, as a kid. I loved watching the army soldiers of Gondor during these films, and I would have like action figures of Gondorian soldiers and play with them and shit. So this is the first time we get to see the soldiers of Gondor. And I love their fucking armor, man. It looks so cool. That's why I designed my podcast channel design off of the Gondorian armor.
Yeah, which I mean, you can see a lot of that. But it's cool to be able to finally like see these guys in their true form, right? Like actually fighting and being in an active conflict, as opposed to just like standing there talking while the battle's already done.
Yeah, we've really only got to learn about the men of Gondor from Boromir.
Yeah.
And it's nice to like actually see them firsthand.
Yeah, because we got, a little bit of a glimpse, like you said, from the deleted scene where Faramir was kind of getting his ass reamed by his dad.
Yeah.
But there was no fighting really going on. It was just them talking after a battle, and Boromir just telling him, "Hey, like leave Faramir the fuck alone. Like he's cool, man."
Yeah. So Faramir is like giving Frodo and Sam to one of his captains. I forget this captain name, but he's like the second in command of Faramir, right? And he's like, give these children to my father. Tell them that Faramir sends a mighty gift. And that's when Sam lays into Faramir. He's like, do you want to know what happened to Boromir? Do you want to know why your brother died? He was a fucking pussy. No, I'm kidding. No, he's like
a fucking bitch.
He's a bitch. He tried to take the ring from Frodo, and it tried to kill him. The ring drove your brother mad. And this is when the battle progresses, and Faramir looks up. He hears something. He's like, Nazgul.
Yep. And Frodo, the ring's starting to kind of take over a little bit. Like he's looking all sorts of fucking possessed. Just they've come.
I know. I forgot to mention that Frodo was having a fucking like a possessed poltergeist moment here.
Yeah, like he kind of has a fucking. If this was Harry Potter, he'd be having like a Dementor moment,
like a Twilight. No, not Twilight Zone. Like a fucking some kind of sci-fi show, but like he's getting possessed right now.
Yeah,
like by a demon. Yeah, your mother sucks cocks in hell.
Fuck me.
Yeah. What movie is that from?
That is from Scary Movie 1.
Yeah, but what movie does it parody? Like
Exorcist.
Exorcist, okay. So it's like The Exorcist, right? He's like possessed and everything. But yeah, like you said, it's starting to show the progression of the ring having a heavy influence on Frodo.
Yeah, like especially with the presence of the Nazgul being nearby, like it's just increasing that draining potential.
Yeah.
So it's starting to poison his mind a lot more because there's more darkness nearby.
Darkness imprisoning me.
Darkness.
Is it just me, or when the Nazgul are flying overhead and Faramir says Nazgul, in my mind I heard enemy AC-130 above.
Oh, dude, what I started hearing is right as soon as you start seeing them fucking like fly into screen, like For Whom the Bell Tolls starts playing.
For Whom the Bell Tolls. Okay, but so we go back to the Battle of Helm's Deep, right? And at this point, the survivors, maybe there's like 100 Rohan soldiers left, if that.
Yeah.
They're holed up in the keep. They're trying to bar the door. The women and children inside the caves, they can hear the battering ram on the front door. Like, it's right there.
Yeah, the Uruk-hai, they didn't just kill the men, but the women.
And the children too.
They hate them. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. It was there.
A little Attack of the Clones reference for you. But Aragorn is trying desperately to hold out like the last little shred of hope, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, is there any way for the women and children to get out of the caves? Is there any other way? And Theoden is completely fallen into despair. He's like, dude, we're fucked.
Yeah.
But not Hama, I keep saying Hama, Gamling, the second in command, is like, there is one passage, it leads into the mountains, but they will not get far, the Uruk-hai are too many. And Aragorn's like, get the women and children the fuck out of here, we gotta save what we can.
Yeah.
And Theoden's like, so much death. What can men do against such reckless hate? You know, Theoden has kind of like teeter-tottered back and forth between hope and despair this whole fucking movie.
Yeah, like we've really seen his stature waver a lot. Because obviously, you know, he has a tremendous amount of responsibility, and that also has to come with a tremendous amount of guilt for all the people that he's lost so far.
Yeah.
So for him, he feels like he's failed them as a leader and as a king.
Yeah, like Theoden had some kind of hope that we might win when the elves showed up, but now he knows he's boxed in. He's only got maybe 75 to 100 defenders left against 8,000 Uruk-hai outside. He's like, dude, we are screwed.
Yeah, there's no way.
But Aragorn is like, for Rohan, for your people. And Theoden is like, for death and glory. And Aragorn's like, no, for Rohan, for your people. And that's when Aragorn looks out at the window and sees the light, and he hears Gandalf's voice, which Gandalf, I actually got to mention it, Gandalf has been kind of absent from this movie.
Gandalf.
Now that I think about it, Gandalf doesn't play a huge role in this movie.
Not really, no. Like, you know, he pops up to save Theoden, obviously.
Yeah.
And I believe it was after that he rode off to go fuck off somewhere else for, you know, the next hour and a half or 2 hours.
Yeah, he went to go find Éomer and any other Rohan soldiers that are still loyal to the king.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that he was going to go try to find more people to help the effort.
Yeah, he says, look to my coming at the first light of the 5th day. At dawn, look to the east. And that's when Gimli goes up to the tower, blows the horn of Helm Hammerhand, and it's enough for like a final rallying cry.
Yeah.
You know, for the last few soldiers to ride out as like a cavalry charge.
Yeah.
You know, there's like maybe 20 Rohan, not even 20, like 10 or so Rohan soldiers, you know, with Aragorn and Theoden riding out. You know, they're trampling down all the Uruk-hai all the way out to the outside of the fortress, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to hold out as long as they can, but they're surrounded. Even cavalry, once you start stagnating and stop moving, you lose that advantage.
Yeah. Like, they did really well on the bridge, but you know that's only gonna last until you get down into the fucking massive wave of soldiers that are just waiting for you.
Yeah, and convenient timing. Like as soon as they get down to the bottom of that fucking ramp, that's when Gandalf and the Rohan soldiers are up on the hill, and that's when the Uruk-hai army focuses their attention. And this is an epic moment, man. It's like Theoden King stands alone. Éomer comes up, not alone. Rohirrim, and then behind him, such an epic shot, man. And the music in the background, it's angelic. It's like, holy shit, we might win this after all, you know?
Yeah, like Gandalf actually managed to find a fuck ton of people. Like he has more soldiers with him than they had the whole fucking battle.
Yeah, then he probably has like close to 3,000 Rohan cavalry soldiers right here.
Yeah,
which, you know, cavalry. Obviously, the Uruk-hai have pikes, which they hold up in a type of shield wall.
Yep.
Which, if Gandalf hadn't used his power to blind the Uruk-hai, the Rohan would have absolutely been fucked.
Oh yeah, no, they would have been getting stabbed left and right because, like you said, they have pikes, so they're able to really extend their reach at pretty good distance.
Yeah, these pikes are fucking like 20, 25 feet long. It's the perfect anti-cavalry weapon.
Yeah.
Which I feel like Saruman planned that intentionally, knowing that Rohan was the home of the horse lords.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that Saruman would plan meticulously. Like, all right, these guys have really good fucking cavalry. What can we do to like combat that or counter that? Really long ass spears.
Yeah, let's just give them a weapon that can make it where they can reach them before the horses can kick them in the face.
Yeah, but thankfully Gandalf blinds the whole army with, you know, his power and the sun and everything. The Uruk-hai, you know, they lose focus, they drop their spears, And that's when the whole army charges. There's a really cool little scene where a Rohan soldier just cuts off a head of an Uruk-hai clean off and it falls.
Yep.
It's like one of those blink and you'll miss it moments. But now we go back to Isengard, and Isengard is completely overrun with the Ents.
Yeah.
There's no army there. It's just maybe 1,000 or so orc workers.
Yeah. And they're just fucking everything up. Like, you do see one of the Ents get kind of pinned down, but even then he starts just ripping the workers off of him.
Yeah.
And they're picking these guys apart. Like at one point, they rip the supports off of the dam and just let that shit get fucking straight up flooded.
Yeah,
which,
it's like rip the dam.
Yeah, because the Ents are so tall and so like heavy and powerful, they can withstand it. However, the fucking tiny Uruk-hai in comparison, those motherfuckers are about to get fucking the worst bath of their lives.
Yeah. So the Ents, there's a nearby dam, right? And that's, I don't know like what the logistic part of that is for Saruman. It's not like you're going to generate electricity or anything, but there's a nearby dam. The Ents completely destroy the dam and it wipes out Isengard, you know, all the machinery, all the orcs, but the Ents, like you said, are tall enough to where like it doesn't phase them.
Yeah, they're just able to fucking stand there and be like, hey, yeah, this is all right. You know, my feet were kind of getting hot anyway.
And even the one Ent that was shot with flaming arrows, he's like, oh, thank God, water.
Yeah.
He starts motorboating the water. But Saruman, there's a few scenes where you see him and he's like panicked, man. He's like, dude, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Yeah. Like I'm being overrun. Like I didn't expect anyone to show up here.
Yeah. So this is kind of a weird spot to end, but I feel like this is probably a good spot to end this episode because next episode is only going to have about 15 or ish minutes of movie time. But also I want to take time to like reflect on the movie itself too.
Yeah.
So this episode and next episode are going to be kind of shorter ones, but if we go any farther, we're just going to cannibalize the rest of the movie.
Yeah. So I feel like that's a good idea, especially because like we've talked about so much shit. Like this is a lot to digest.
Yes.
So
and I want to reflect about it, not just talk about it, but I want to reflect about it and like go into detail, you know.
Yeah, and you know, like like I mentioned, it's a lot of stuff for us to digest. Not just us, but the viewers as well. So
exactly.
Rather than overwhelm everybody, it's better for us to break it up so that way we can have that little bit of screen time left. And like you said, be able to reflect and really like discuss our thoughts as on the movie as a whole.
Yeah, because that's the reason why we do these podcasts, right? It's like if you wanted to watch the movie, you'd watch the movie, but you want to hang out with us, talk about cool shit or theories or like, you know, different ways to interpret these films or just cool, you know, additions, you know. That's what the reason why you're hanging out with us talking about these movies is to actually talk about them, not just doing like a screen by screen play by play or whatever recap.
Yeah, again, going back to the whole fucking Madden thing.
Yeah. And this right here is where you can see Aragorn coming in with a sword.
But yeah, you know, like we do this podcast so that way we can actually have a discussion about it.
Yes.
And you know, a really good way for you guys to join that discussion is to
fuckers.
Email us at contact@virtualtavern@gmail.com. May cause chlamydia.
Well, Hunter, do you have anything that you want to say about this segment? Anything like speaking out in your mind or?
I just feel like this segment was it's obviously very action heavy, but we got to see a lot of really cool shit. Like we got to see the cavalry just fucking come in out of nowhere. Like I'd actually forgotten that was happening.
Yeah.
Because Gandalf was gone for so long. Like they had it to where there was so much other shit going on that it just fucking it leaves your mind. So when it finally happens, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, I 100% forgot about you.
Helm's Deep is just a masterclass in how a battle should be portrayed on film. It's like a tug of war, right? It should have ebbs and flows, high moments, low moments. It's like a roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
It should have these wide shots where you can like have an image in your mind of how the battle is going, you know, where you can see the scope of the battle. Many times during the Battle of Helm's Deep, it comes out and has these wide shots to where you can like look and see how each side is doing.
Yeah.
And that way you're not left guessing like, how is the battle going? It's not like this very small FOV like Rings of Power does, where you're like, dude, who's fucking winning? What's going on?
Yeah, no, like you get to see the whole scope and vastness of what's going on in the entire area. So
Yeah.
like it's not just, oh, you're focused on 6 soldiers here, 7 soldiers here. No, you get to see like hundreds of them at a time. It's just holy fuck.
Exactly.
Like I said, it's just beautifully done. It's in a class of its own, and really Peter Jackson should pat himself on the back for this battle alone, because it's
Yes.
just fucking mwah.
He's a nice.
He's a nice.
Well, anyway, this covers our next to last episode of Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. Join us next time, where we'll cover like the last 15 or so ish minutes of the film and just give, you know, a nice detailed recap of the film, how we feel about it, our favorite moments, and it'll just be an opportunity for us to really dig deep into our favorite moments of this film, talk about some cool shit, and that's going to be like where we can really dig deep into the meat and potatoes of this film
Yeah.
and pick it apart, you know.
And I know that, you know, I brought it up already, but it really would be a good time for you guys to be able to send an email, so that way we could actually like discuss your guys' theories, and we'd be able to do it in depth rather than just, oh, here, we'll bring it up at the, you know, the start of the episode or whatever.
Yeah, ask
Because
us a question or
Yeah, if you know, if we got something that actually was able to delve deep into it, we could bring it up, not just at the beginning, but we could have it to where it's something that's talked about in, as you said, the meat and potatoes of the episode. Like
Yeah.
we'd be able to actually really get into it and have our own thoughts on it and whatever, and like be able to dig into it. So
yeah, you can ask us who do we believe had the best character moments, or who do you like, what was our favorite moment, you know, just ask us, and literally anything, you know.
yeah, like it would just be great to be able to interact with you guys, and this recap moment would be an excellent opportunity for us to be able to really engage with you guys without it feeling like we're having to rush through it.
Yes. Well, without further ado, this has been Virtual Tavern. Catch us next Fantasy Friday, where we finish off The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers, and we will be digging deep very shortly into The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. My name is Adam Edgar,
I am Hunter Chambliss.
and we will catch you guys on the flip side. Ciao.
Bye.